So here we can see the latest incarnation of Forest Hill. There's been a few changes, no real progress, just some progress in the thoughts and the planning. So we'll start with the number one thing is some of you'll notice that the background has changed. If you saw the previous background where it was just the pure tree line, the trees were very close. This is another art printer's product that I ordered, and it came in, and again I just had this tacked up temporarily. I'm probably gonna go with this. I'm 90% sure. What I will do is, if I zoom in here, where you can see on the backdrop where it turns, right at the top of that tree there, if you will, all of that, I don't know if you can tell that there's more backdrop there. I'm just going to cut all that off and just go with the lower portion of it, and then just use the blue painted hardboard as the sky, and maybe look to paint some clouds on that or whatever. So this one is a lot more like what I was going for. It's still not perfect. There's some issues with it, but unless I come up with something different by the time I get ready to actually permanently affix that, this is probably what I'm going to go with. Another thing that you can see here is I built a foam board mock-up of the actual station, the Mom and Pa station in Forest Hill. So that was just to give me a sense of what the actual size is. So I purchased some plans from the Historical Society for this station as well as Bel Air, and that's mock-up is built to skip to the scale size, so that's how big it will actually be. Also here in the background, I decided I'm going to put the structure you see right here, this tan colored structure. This is a Walther's Arrowhead Ale structure, and I'm gonna put that there at the end of the back spur. Next to it, this is I was able to get my hands on a Blair Line backdrop warehouse, I think it's called. They don't make it anymore, but I found one on eBay, new in the box. So that's just a printed picture of it, so I could get a sense for basically the size of it. It's not exactly correct, but so anyway, that's pretty much the plan changes that have occurred in Forest Hill. If we take a look at the mountain, as I like to refer to it, we can see that more trees have been added. I've started to add some basic shrubs in there, but primarily just focused on getting more trees on the mountain. Those of you who remember from the last update video, I did go ahead and end up putting a few more trees everywhere throughout the mountain, and again I may still add more. So here as I mentioned in the last update, I wanted to do some kind of a mini scene, so I picked up the Woodland Scenics camper set, and so those people in there have set up camp inside the little cut in the rock. Somewhere, I don't know where he's at the moment, there was actually one more figure, a hiking figure, that came with that set, and it's somewhere on the mountain, probably just laying down because I haven't actually put it in, glued it down. Another thing that I did make progress on was getting this stone retaining wall put in here at the end of the mountain, which will be behind the park scene, which is the white paper there when I put the park in. So that stone retaining wall got put in. I think that came out pretty good, so I'm very pleased with that. So that was one more thing that I managed to get accomplished. So here we can see the previous backdrop that was in Forest Hill has now made its way over to Bel Air here. Okay, here in Bel Air, I've made some more progress on this dirt road that goes from the American Oil Company over here to the main road. Put some shrubs down. I got a tree in there. Did some weathering. I don't know if you can really see on the road, as well as putting some weathering in on the asphalt road. Put in a couple of wood crossings. I have the other ones that I need. The other one I need for right here, as well as some more for down the other end of Bel Air. But we got that put in. Another thing we can see here is I built this rundown tenement. This is a flat from Trackside Sceneries, and the main part of the building, the green part there, is actually printed. It's just paper wrapped around a foam core, and then there's the wood for the porches. If you can see here, all of the railings were supposed to be this wood, this solid panel stuff you can see right there, but I didn't like that, even though the front rail. So I bought some Grant Line railings and put those across the front, and I went ahead and decided to use the solid ones for the sides. However, you know, when I got the kit, I checked all the parts, they were all there, and then somehow I lost one of the side panels. So I just ended up, you know, bolting, nailing up some wood, so that, you know, the tenant here in this particular unit has just nailed some boards across there to keep people from falling off. So we've got that built. The building you see next to it is another Blair Line kit. This is the green door lounge. I just stuck it in there to get an idea of the size I need to. That's the next project, or one of the next projects. Okay, so anyone who's been following along with the layout updates and the different videos on my channel, you will recognize number 27 here. Was custom weathered by John at JC's Rip Track for me. Really love this locomotive. When I bought it, it was DCC ready, or actually it was DCC, no sound. I replaced the decoder in it with a sound decoder. It sounds fantastic. And here, over the last couple weeks, I have acquired yet another one. So this one is not DCC ready even. The first one had the holes in the tender for the speaker, you know, for the sound to get out from the tender. This one does not. So this one I'll have to drill holes in, and I think it's not DCC ready yet. This one is, I'm going to have to do all the work. And a couple other issues. The front coupler is completely missing. The rear coupler on the tender is frozen. It doesn't want to work. So I got a little bit of work to do, but I got a pretty good price on this. We got another one. This one will have to be renumbered to number 28. So I've got the decals to do that. So that'll be yet another project, and hopefully that'll be a video in the future. Another project that's progressing is, I had quite a while back, I acquired this as a Cato NW2 that was lettered for Southern Pacific, I believe. So I stripped the paint off and repainted it and relettered it for number 80 for the Maryland and Pennsylvania. I still got some work to do on that lower yellow stripe. It's messed up. The decal kind of fell apart on me. But this is a DC only unit, and I've been putting off doing anything with it because I wanted to put sound in it, but getting sound inside of the Cato HONW2 requires milling. This whole body, this whole thing is just a solid piece of metal, and so you have to mill that frame out in order to get a decoder that will fit in there. Now this decoder, so I finally just bit the bullet and I got this DZ126 Soundtracks decoder. It will actually fit inside the cab. It's non-sound obviously, but at least I will have number 80 on the railroad and be able to use it, which, you know, it's been sitting on the bench for, I don't know, 10 months or 8 months waiting for that. So I've just decided, you know, DCC with no sound is better than DC, since I can't run it at all if it's on DC on the layout. So that's another project. So I have two locomotives now to do DCC installs. One will be sound and one won't. But hopefully you'll see both of these engines running on the railroad before too long. Okay, so that'll do it for layout update number 10. Just wanted to give everybody a quick peek into what little bit of progress has been being made over the last month and a half or so. Hopefully my job will quiet down a little bit over the summer, and I'll be able to get a little bit more progress made. But we'll keep plugging along. I hope everybody out there is doing the same. So I appreciate you watching the video, and if you enjoyed this or are interested in seeing more videos from the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell icon so you'll be notified when I release the next video. Take care, and I will see you down the rails.